Hey, what is up? I know it has been a very long time since I made an update video about the current state of CineTracer. However, I've been really busy working on a couple things, but it's just at the point now where I think I can show what it is we're going to be able to do in the new version of CineTracer. So I want to demo you the very beginnings of this system. However, I think the results are extremely promising. Let's jump right into this. I'm also a VTuber now. So, hello and welcome to the very first look at CineTracer meta here. So this is a sample scene using Unreal Engine 5 and our new, very amazing looking Metahumans. And I'm controlling this whole thing with my controller at the moment. So the primary reason it's taking so long to build this is that I switched to Unreal Engine 5 and we're using an entirely new type of lighting technology. And finally, we can say that we can do bounce lighting properly and negative and positive fill. And on top of that lighting tech, we now have metahumans and virtual humans basically that look this good and receive the lighting. So they are absolutely perfect for lighting previs. And I just want to demo how this is all looking right now. So using the controller, I'm going to select this negative fill next to him. Like this. The UI doesn't quite show it yet, but it's selected. I'm going to hit Y, and I'm going to use my triggers to lower this solid. And you can see now that the white board next to him is actually bouncing light towards him. So if I bring this back up, we have negative fill and positive fill. Pretty cool. I'm going to move this negative over here now. I'll just kind of put it in the background. This is how my primarily want to be doing moving systems at this point. It's really controller based. Of course, it'll work with mouse and keyboard, but really favoring the controller. This game, when it comes out, will be 100% controller supported. I'm going to select this light over here. I'm going to select this bead board, this bounce, and I'm going to show you how the bouncing looks on the Metahuman. So we're now moving it. If I move this bounce closer to his face, you can see that his shadow side does get filled in quite a bit. And then as I pull the bounce away, he gets darker. So we're going to move the bounce board closer, and you can see that we have some really nice, realistic, natural feeling bounce lighting. And so this will really help with being able to communicate some very nuanced lighting setups. And if that board was red or blue, it would be bouncing red and blue back onto his face. Pretty nice, like that. Let's check out some of the lights at the moment. We have this sphere light. So these are basically lanterns. So I will grab this light here, and I'm going to switch into move mode, and I can move this light back and forth like this. Right, so we'll move the light below him. It's a little bright right now, but you can see the softness of the shadow isn't fully path traced as far as realism. However, it does, in my opinion, a more than adequate job for lighting previs. So from lighting from below is looking rather ominous, and then moving back into more of like a 3/4 or like frontal lighting setup looks like that. So we'll have all of the lights that we had before and some new ones. And again, the exciting part as we get closer up onto our Metahuman here is that the lighting on the hair, if you look at it, is much more realistic. The lighting on the skin and the bounce lighting, again, now is a thing. And it's all working together like quite seamlessly, really nicely. So that's a look at some of the lighting tech that's now possible with just 2 lantern lights and some bounce and bouncing from the environment. This is the quality that we're getting, quite incredible. To talk a little bit more about the Metahuman, I will select him. This is all very work in progress, but what we have to start is a new posing system. So using my controller, I can choose between these poses. I guess I'll just start doing some of them. We have a T pose, N, A, sitting. Can come from a different angle, can lay down from here like this, push up, prayer pose, cross-legged sitting, and those are the preset poses I've made so far. And I'm going to make an awful lot of them, but what if you want to make your own pose? Well, we have this now. So all of these poses here are just presets of these sliders, and this will get controller support. However, I don't have full controller support at the moment, so I'll switch back to my mouse. And with these controls, we can do things like turn the body in different ways. And so all those poses that I made before are made from this, and so it's pretty flexible, and you should be able to make most of the poses that you'd ever want and need for previs. And you'll be able to save the poses yourself locally if you want, and they essentially all boil down to a list of basically these numbers. So I'll start just kind of playing with some of the controls that we have here, and it's a much more finessed control system over the Metahumans than we had before. We have arms again, so like you'd expect, I'm trying to name these in a way that's somewhat straightforward, and I'll just continue to try to make this system easier and easier for people to make their own poses, because everyone needs to have, you know, a different pose likely. If we look at some of the fidelity for the hands we have each finger has a control, and then some, and we might add even more. But you'll be able to make, hopefully, all the poses you need. We can then splay the fingers out like this. So if we actually just make the hands all the way out, you can see the display controls. And so I'm going way more into detail with what you can do with the virtual humans so that you can get the pose that you want. Going back to the face editor, if I come a little bit closer, very similar system for the face. We have some presets here. And the Metahumans are quite incredible and can do a wide range of expressions. And we're going to have a little bit more control here, but just like with the body, all those presets are actually made from controls like this. So you'll be able to come in and customize them, and I'll give you some good jumping off starting points. But basically, everything is going to be controllable by you. You can make your own pose completely. This stuff is very work in progress, but I can start to show it here. Let's pick a different pose. As funny as that pose actually is, let me switch back to something like this. We're also going to be having a full clothing editor. So this stuff is very early state, but here's a hoodie. Here's a dress shirt. When you put pants on, you won't see that. And a sweater, and you'll be able to customize them. This stuff doesn't work yet down here, but you'll be able to customize the pattern and the clothing. And we'll have more and more clothing that we can add to this, and pants. And then also the shoe options here. Again, they're all white, so they all look the same, but we can add more and more to them, and you'll be able to customize the color and the material. So that is the basic look at the character system that's being developed for CineTracer Meta, is the name of this project here. And it's been quite a journey for me to learn how to program and work with the Metahumans, getting them to move, getting them to pose, and then also coming to grips with the new lighting system in Unreal Engine 5 and building just kind of like a new modern take on CineTracer. It's a lot simpler. These digital actors are not going to move in the beginning at least. It's very much focused on getting very detailed poses out of these Metahumans to put them in there for storyboarding, for static storyboarding, and then focusing on having really high quality pre-built sets is a focus that we're going for now. Many more pre-built sets with a building system, but we're going to try to deliver pre-built and pre-lit sets as well. And then tying it together again with the camera systems that you're familiar with and the lighting systems that you're familiar with, but these ones now with this new lighting technology allows us to do even more. So that wraps it up for this very first kind of semi-official look at the CineTracer Meta project. For some quick details here, this isn't finalized, but this is actually going to be a completely separate app than the current CineTracer. It will be available on Steam, and the way that it'll work is that if you already have a CineTracer license, you will be given access to this one for free. And I think the most straightforward way to do this is that if someone buys a new CineTracer license, you basically get both apps. And so there's a reason I'm keeping the old version around, and that this one's kind of like the new one, and they're gonna coexist for quite a while. But this new version delivers us incredible quality for our digital humans. The lighting behaves way more naturally and doesn't require as crazy of a computer to have that happen. This lighting technology is supported by way more hardware, so that's very exciting. And this is where I've been for the last couple of months, is just kind of wrapping my head around all this stuff and getting it to work. Also, I'm building a live mocap system, which this VTuber Metahuman is also a preview of. However, that isn't CineTracer. CineTracer's focus is going to be on static storyboarding, high quality lighting and whatnot, but I'm also working on live motion systems. This is being done with an iPhone and essentially just VR equipment, nothing too crazy on the mocap side. So feel free to leave comments below, questions, and as this continues to progress, it's just getting to the point now where I feel comfortable sharing the results publicly, and this should be on Steam, available in its very first version, hopefully by something like the end of the year, early next year. I'll see you on the next video.